Yes, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So full time from St James's Park in the match review. It finished Newcastle United 2, Southampton 1, and I have to say we did not deserve all 3 points in that game today. As much as we played really well in the last sort of 15 minutes of the second half, we were second best to every ball today. We were very lethargic. Southampton, for me, were full of energy. They were getting forward. They were causing us problems, and at one point they took the lead. And at that moment in time when Southampton did take the lead, I was like, this is well deserved. You know, we've not really been playing at the same high intensity that we showed against, you know, Sheffield United and Manchester City. We've sort of underestimated Southampton, if you like. And when they took the lead, I thought they were going to go on and score 2 or 3 more, and it would have been deserved on the day. But as we all know, football can be a cruel sport sometimes, and we managed to find a way to win. And sometimes you've got to win ugly. Sometimes you just got to try and show a little bit more belief. And that's what we showed. And I think towards the end of the game, we had a little bit too much for Southampton. And it's what happened as well. When you don't take your opportunities, you do get punished. And it's gone in our favour. And I have to say, you know, if we'd walked away from St James's Park today with a point, I would have taken it. If we got defeated today, then at the same time, I wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't have been shocked, because the football on display today was not fantastic. Was it something to do with the weather? Was it something to do with the formation? I don't know. Was it tiredness against Sheffield United and Manchester City? Who knows? But we've managed to get that little bit more energy out of the lads in the last 20 minutes. And we've managed to dig away and get an unlikely 3 points. And we've managed to even pull further clear away from the relegation zone. And we're now in the top 10. So, woo! Top 10. Who would have thought? And I have to say credit goes to Steve Bruce today as well for the substitutions in the second half. I think he sort of rescued himself, because if you look at the team lineup which Steve Bruce fielded for today's match, there was one change, and that was Andy Cowell was dropped. Yes, he was dropped for Joe Linton. Like, why is Joe Linton even getting a start these days? He's absolutely horrendous. He doesn't offer anything in the game. He's tracking back is dreadful. He's getting forward is dreadful. He doesn't really offer anything in terms of a goal threat. And I tell you what, man, taking him off the pitch an hour into the match was a big decision by Steve Bruce, and I think it was a huge one, which contributed in us getting back into the game and winning it by 2-1. And for me, he's not proven his £40 million price tag. But anyway, the team as what it was against Sheffield United. You don't change a winning side or a team that's, you know, picking up points. And going into the match, as I've said before, Southampton were on the front foot. You know, they had the likes of Danny Ings and Shane Long up front, so they were looking quite deadly. You know, 2 up top, they were going for it, and they certainly did that in the first half, and they were causing us problems time and time again. Miscommunication from the lads as well, and they were getting in far too easily, and Dubravka in that first half single-handedly kept us in that match as well. And I tell you what, if it's not for Dubravka at times, we would easily be in the relegation zone, and that's not me taking the piss. We would be in the relegation zone. The amount of super saves he pulls off, and the big opportunity fell in Southampton's favour on 17 minutes from Nathan Redmond. How he hasn't scored for Southampton, I will never know. It's from the dugout area where, watch his face, Willems, he's basically picked up a ball. He's trying to pass it back to Fernandez. It's too strong. It evades him, and Redmond is basically one-on-one with the keeper, and Dubravka manages to you know, parry it away for a corner. But for me, he's got to go a little bit closer to Dubravka. Maybe he's put that under him or chip him, and that's a huge let-off for us as well. And they managed to get a corner, and from the corner as well, the ball comes in, it evades everybody, and who else? Nathan Redmond, who should have scored, was unmarked, and he just lets rip, and it's going into the top right-hand corner for Dubravka, just gets his fingers on it and manages to tip around for another corner, which nothing comes of it. But that's the alarm bells ringing there for the lads at the back. That's the warning signs that Southampton are in this game, that they're here to compete, and they certainly did that for large periods of the game. And we really did ride our luck at times. And the only danger really in that first half was St Maximin, you know, getting forward. But of course, the Southampton defence were, you know, keeping them on mark. You know, he was obviously doing them and getting past them, but it wasn't really troubling McCarthy. And you know, they had a lot of other opportunities as well. You know, with Shane Long getting in, Gineppo was causing us problems as well. You know, at the Gallagate, and we managed to see it out at half time, 0-0. And I have to say, Southampton for me should have been at least 1 or 2-0 up going into half time. I wouldn't have complained. We were just second to every ball. We didn't look ourselves. We didn't look as if we were actually at home. It looked as if we were just tired, weren't interested, and Joe Linton for me didn't offer anything in that first half either. just to put the record straight, he's not really getting in the right place at the right time. And, you know, for me, you can't say that he wasn't getting any service, because Almiron was getting in good areas of the pitch. And even at one point as well, St. Maximin actually put him in, and he took a really, really horrendous touch. And if he just took it under control, he could have actually scored his first goal of the season. But Joe Linton being Joe Linton misses, and Southampton get away with one. But going into the second half, there was one change, and that was Kieran Clark was replaced for Fabian Shaw. There must have been something wrong with Clark at half time, so I wish him all the very best if something has happened. We'll only find out over the next day or two. And then going into the second half, I think we're sort of up our game a bit more, but Southampton were still causing more problems, and we're getting on the front foot, and we were trying to cause a danger to them. But Southampton were always they were fine, defensively. But then come the soccer punch, 7 minutes into the second half, Southampton go up the other end, and basically Danny Ings is fed through. Fernandez is nowhere near him, and he's one-on-one with Dubravka, and he puts it in, and that's 1-0 to Southampton. So very, very poor mark in there. How he's been given all that space, I will never know. I mentioned in my preview, he's not the quickest, but he peels off his last man, and that's what Danny Ings does for a living. He's on form, and what's that now, 4 goals in 2 games or something like that, and he's the deadliest man for Southampton. Has put them 1-0 ahead, and I can't say that they didn't deserve it, because they played some really good stuff up until then. They could have even been ahead before half time, and for me that was the massive wake up call that we needed, and the game was just ebbing away from where Steve Bruce then after the hour mark made another substitution, and that was Joe Linton. He came off for Andy Carroll, who for me should have started the game, or Dwight Gale in my opinion. They were both on the bench, and like Carroll did, he made a massive impact in the match, and we were causing them problems time and time again. Cedric, made a mistake, a bad tackle, and we managed then to get a free kick. John Joe Shelby puts one into the box, it evades everybody, then the ball gets whipped back in, and who else? John Joe Shelby was on hand just to nod straight past McCarthy to make a 1-0 to make a 1-1, and we're back into the game. And I think it's not to say we didn't deserve it. I think we showed a little bit more after going 1-0 down, but at the same time we still looked a little bit dodgy. But we managed to find our way back into the game 1-1, and it was game on at that point. And I think Southampton for me started to really tire. I think all of that attacking in the first half took a lot out of them, and I think we managed just to grow into the game, and the crowd as well, made a massive impact as well on the lads, going to claim the second goal as well. And yes, Southampton had a few corners, and they came very, very close with an open net, which was a Bertrand or Redmond couldn't get his head on the end of it, and we get lucky there as well, so they could have actually responded. But we then make another substitution with 5 minutes to go. Steve Bruce brings on Sean Longstaff for Almiron, who was getting a little bit tired, and he made a massive impact in the game. St. Maximin picks up a ball, and then obviously he's working around the team. He passes it back to Sean Longstaff, who just takes aim at McCarthy, and then he just powers it right in front of Fernandez in the box, who you're thinking at the time's offside. He then just basically buries it into the bottom corner, and it's 2-1 to the lads, and you're thinking, wow. Like, from a game which was going away from a game which we didn't even deserve anything from, we've gone from being 1-0 down to 2-1 up, and Southampton have showed that defensive problems, and we've managed to sort of kill off the game and win it 2-1. And yes, there was a little bit of nerves towards the end, but we've managed to see out the game 2-1, and it's another Steve Bruce masterclass, and it's another welcome 3 points now. That's 7 points picked up out of 9 in the last 3 games, and we're just plugging away. The fixtures are very kind to us, and we're taking it each game as it comes, and we're currently in the top 10. Who would have thought we're in the top 10, given the start of the season? We had a dodgy start, defeats the likes of Norwich, Leicester. You thought we would have been in the relegation zone by now, deep in the relegation zone, but we're not. We're on 22 points, and we're 7 points clear of the relegation zone, and it's looking very, very healthy. But for me, it's not about giving up. It's about just keep going, taking each game as it comes, and your home games are very, very important, and today we found a way to win. We were dreadful. Southampton for me did deserve something out of the game, at least a point, but we had players at the right place at the right time, and Southampton were caught and stuck for 2 goals, and we've learned from it. And I think again we needed that kick up the arse, going 1-0 down at home to get back into it, and then go on to win the game 2-1. And again, we can only beat what's put in front with every game that we play, and yeah, we may get lucky, but at the end of the day, you know, we've got to try in this Premier League to find goals to try and win matches, and this club needs to be in the Premier League. That's the bottom line. And you know, we're a working class city, we're a working class club, and we've got players at this moment in time who are playing for this badge, for this shirt, and you've seen that in the last sort of 20 minutes of the game that they wanted to go on and win the game. And you know, you could see how much it meant to Fernandes, you know, when he scored as well. I know people are criticising whether that we're front three's not really scoring, but in what defence are. But at the end of the day, we're now starting to see goals from Shelby. You know, that's 3-3 now, and he's on fire. Nobody can stop the lad at the minute, and you can't drop him. Again, we've paid a lot of money for him from Swansea, and now we're starting to see the real Shelby that was performing for Swansea City as well. This lad who used to play for Liverpool, the lad's got real talent, and you've seen this week what he can do. And you've seen it against Manchester City the week before. So, and for me, Carroll deserves a lot of credit as well. You know, he's making a lot of impact into the match as well. I know he's not really fully match fit, but hey, we've found a way to win, and that's what you've got to do in this Premier League. And things are looking really, really good for the club right now. Has Steve Bruce won us over? Well, we'll have to wait and see. We've got to keep winning games. That's what I want to see. And if we really want to call ourselves a top 10 football club, we've got to be winning the hard way. You've got to be beating clubs like Southampton at home to stand any chance, and we've managed to do that. And I have to say, it was just a stroke of genius really from Steve Bruce to bring on Longstaff in the first place, and you just took him, and then you've seen the other lads responding, to the actual mistake by McCarthy. They'll be disappointed with that that the did manage to get off to the draw, which I think they deserved. But that is the Premier League, and it can be ruthless, as I've said before. And things are looking very, very good. We're now 3 points above Arsenal as well. Who would have thought that, given the squad that they've got as well. So over the moon with that performance, and we'll move on to Burnley on Saturday, another winnable fixture with the way they're playing. But I'll talk about that in the match preview in the next few days. But as I've said before, fantastic result, and yeah, we'll go again on Saturday. So my man of the match today, if I could give one, Dubravka. I think today just kept winning the game. The first half, it made a huge difference to the confidence going into the second half. So for me, Martin Dubravka. And let us know down below in the comments who you thought your man of the match was, and the game itself. I know it wasn't the best, but we found a way to win. Anyway, guys, if you are new to my channel, please go along and subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to get 2,400 subs. If you can help us out, that would be massively appreciated. Every sub is free, and it would help me out and help me grow, as a YouTuber. Also, hit the thumbs up as well, and follow me on social media, 100% NUFC. That would be massively appreciated. I'm sorry it's been going on a little bit longer, but as I said before, I like to talk to you about the actual game. And hey, 3 points! How are the lads?